So guys, today we're going to be building a PC for gaming / streaming and recording. So this is basically a little video about what I'm going to be using. I won't be going deep into the ultimate stuff with the clocking and the biomes and all that stuff. It's just basically showing you what components I bought, what is good for streaming. And this is probably around like 1,500 euros or pounds, dollars, whatever your currency is. So let's just quickly show you what I have gotten. So for the processor, you want a decent processor to stream good quality and no lag whatsoever. So I got the AMD Ryzen 7 3700X. This is not the ultimate one, but this is like mid-tier and is still good. The ultimate one would be the AMD Ryzen 9 3900X, but that one was more expensive and I don't want to go that far. For the motherboard we're going to be using is the X570 Aorus Pro gaming monitor. So this is specifically for the AMD Ryzen, and it has a lot of slots as well for the RAM, what we're going to be using, and the graphics card obviously, but we're going to use one graphics card. So I only really need one slot, but it has 3 slots. So if I ever in the future need another open slot, I have that. So for the graphics card here is the GeForce GTX 1660 Super, and this will be the ultimate beast. I would say not the ultimate beast, the mid-tier beast of a graphics card to play games on high graphics and as well record fine quality with this piece of GPU. And a little bit here about the RAM. We're going to be having maximum RAM of 32 gigabytes, so that's quite good enough for all of this. And I have 2 SSDs actually. I got a new one. We're going to put everything on the new one. This is the old one from my PC. I'm just going to delete everything what's on there, but you know, of course I'm going to use the old SSD as well, because that's just more memory what we're going to be using. And I also got the 4 terabyte hard drive where I just put all my content shit in. So that's still in there, I hope, at least. Of course it's going to be in there, but hopefully that's all there. So this is just an external hard drive where I just put some documents into it, what I don't want to lose when I'm deleting the SSD, and just an USB drive here, or drive plugin, where the Windows 10 installment is, so we can install Windows 10. So I don't really have a Windows 10 key because I have the key already on my account, so I can just install Windows, log into my account, and I got a key, and we can just start with installing Windows 10, so that doesn't matter. So it comes down to, we're gonna put this shit into this shit, because this is our PC case, and it's probably good enough, big enough for us all. So here a small thing if you were curious about my old PC. I had actually a mini PC version, if you can see that. And I had the GeForce GTX 1060. This is still a pretty good graphics card, by the way, but obviously the one I have new is better, so whatever. And I actually thought I could use 2 GPUs, but I searched up that is actually not beneficial. It's just better to use one, so I'm probably gonna sell this one. Still get some good bucks from it. So here I had the mini racing motherboard, specifically for the AMD Ryzen processor. I think this was the Ryzen 57000. I'm not sure anymore, but this is still a good processor. And obviously the power supply, what I'm going to use in my new PC as well, so I don't have to buy a new one. So that's all good. So guys, here we packaged out the motherboard right here. So here you have the processor, or the socket where the processor will be coming. So, and here we got our 4 ports where we can put the RAM, and here we have the slots for the GPU, and also another port what I'm gonna use, and that's probably gonna be an Elgato game capture 4K, but I still have to buy that one. Still using the old HD 60 FPS one, so that's good, but I'm getting that 4K card, capture card, very soon. So you cannot really see this, but you can see right here, that's the case. The case is pretty black, so I'm gonna put on the light so you can actually see what's inside. So in the front you have like 3 fans, in the back 1, so it keeps it cool. And here we're gonna put it in the motherboard on the left side. You probably know this because this is how PCs are built. 2 places where we can put the SSDs, and here we can put the hard drive. And in this block is going to be the power supply, and here the air can come out from the power supply. And further here, the ports on the left side, we have to open them when we put in the GPU, so you can use the ports to use the cables for your monitor, so you can put them into your GPU. And as well as over here, you have the back ports from your motherboard. What is gonna be, if I can show you guys, gonna be these ones. There's a lot of USB ports and an HDMI and the LAN. Also, I'm probably all going to use those USB ports because they got a lot of USBs. And things to use. And here you can also see that you can put your music in. So let's continue on with putting the motherboard into the case. So let's go. So guys, I actually thought things through, so it would actually be better to first put the processor and the motherboard while it's not mounted in the case, because when it is mounted on the case it's much harder and you don't really see that good from all the angles. That's because if you put the processor in, you have to like put the fan on the processor, and it has paste on it, and if you fuck that up, you can basically do the whole fucking thing over again. So like this, we can put the processor in much easier and then put the fan on the processor with more precision, perfection, whatever you want to call it. So it's much easier. So first, let's get the processor on the motherboard, and then we're going to put the motherboard in the case. So now guys, we have the processor mounted on the motherboard with the fan on it as well. And I think it was really done quite well, if I say so myself. Even though I thought I fucked up the paste because I actually never used this mounting of the fan. So it was kind of new how to do it, but I end up doing it good, so it's all good. So now we're gonna put the motherboard inside the case. So now we have the motherboard mounted in the case, as you can see right here. So what's next is gonna be putting in the GPU right there, the RAM over here, and 2 SSDs over there, the hard drive over here, and the power supply over here. And when we done that, we are gonna go to the cables. But first, let's get all the components in, and then I show you how it looks like. Now we put all the components inside the case. So if you can see here, the motherboard, processor, the fan, here the RAM is inside. This is the graphics card. Got both SSDs right in there. My hard drive is in there, and below this is the power supply. So now the most annoying thing comes, and that is cables. So yeah, this is gonna take a while, and what you want to do actually with the cables is just connect everything, but keep them like in the back here, like all the cables over here. So this is because then when there aren't any cables here in the middle, the air is just gonna flow through the case better, so your PC isn't gonna be so hot. So that's why you want to put all the cables like nice and tight in the back right here, if you can see in this section, so your PC won't be getting overheated. So now we have everything cabled, so it should be good enough to run, and I actually got the power supply on, so hopefully it works. So let's see if this works. Okay, it works. First try. Let's fucking go, dude. So now I will actually plug in everything, because I actually didn't. I only like plugged in the power supply to see that it works, and it works. So we're gonna put everything up so we can start installing Windows 10. So here I am installing Windows right now, and I only get like one station now because I had to put out the one from my old PC, because that one still had the Windows on it. So if I can, every time I started up the PC, it just picked the old SSD Windows, and then I still had my old account basically from my old PC. So what I try to do here is just wipe them all out. Hopefully he sees my stuff right here. So this is station 2. Let's just delete everything right here. So hopefully this will delete everything. So this is going to be the new one, station 0. Well, the numbers are actually really weird, but this is my new one. So we're gonna click this one. I don't really think I have to click anything else. So we're gonna go next, and then it installs. So yeah, this is just basic stuff. It's going to install, so let's just fast forward this installation. So guys, we have installed Windows right now, and I went ahead and installed every applications I normally use and some games I play time to time. And what I'm going to do now is show you the OBS settings for streaming and recording. So let's bring up the OBS window right here. It looks kind of weird because it just goes into a infinity spiral into the screen. But here, first, let's go into the settings, what I use as the output. So I'm going to use advanced output. So I cannot really change this because we're actually recording right now. So I cannot change it, but I can still show you what options I have on it. So for streaming, I'm going to be using the CPU. So this is the X264 encoder. And I won't be scaling do the rescale because we already scaled it to 1080p. So that's full HD. And for the rates control, we're going to use CBR and the bitrate to stream 1080p 30 FPS. It is advised that your bitrate is 6000. So hopefully you have a good connection with the internet and also a good PC to have a good connection, as well as the appropriate quality of the stream for these settings. But we have that with this PC, so that's all good. This is basically the best I can get with this PC. So these settings are just like perfect for the PC. They're like perfect in quality. Could always be better, but for this PC, it's the best I can get. The frame interval always is 2 for streaming. And the CPU usage present. This is actually how your quality of the stream is going to be performing. So slower is better, faster is uglier, let's say. I got it to slow because that is the best quality I can get with this PC. So slower means it will cost higher CPU usage, and higher is less CPU usage. But the higher it is, the uglier the screen is going to be, and how slower it is, the how better the screen is going to look like, the stream. I got it on slow. I cannot get it on slower. I tested on slower, and it is going to be lagging as really hard, so that won't be appropriate. And when I have it on slow, it still looks good, and it doesn't lag. So it's better to have streams where just do not lag at all, and still have some good quality. I have profile on high. The rest, I don't really have anything there. So for recording settings, I'm going to use the GPU. So let's be sure to have the recording path to whatever map you want to get your files. I do recommend that you put MP4 files into it. It says a warning and blah, 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 whatever. But for most editing, you will need an MP4 file. Otherwise, the editing program is going to say, yeah, fuck it. We don't support that thing. And most platforms also recommend that you upload in MP4s if you want to upload a video. So MP4 is also great. So for the encoder, we use the NVIDIA encoder. That is this one right here. So it's the GPU. Again, we're not going to outscale anything because we already did that in the video section right here. What I'm going to show you after this. Don't really use this. The rate control, this CBR. I got the bitrate to 15,000. This means that we are able to record full max quality, 100, or no, not 100, 1080p. So it's full HD. I can also record with 60 FPS on these settings, but I cannot stream on 60 FPS because otherwise I have to set it on fast and the screen is going to look worse. So for streaming and recording at the same time, we have to like record and stream on 30 FPS. And if we're not streaming, I can actually record on 60 FPS. Yeah, I got a present. You want a max quality, profile. I have actually this thing out because I searched up some settings for the OBS for the NVIDIA encoder, and they recommend doing this, and also max the B frames. If you got this locked on or pinged, you won't have this for. If you do not have that, go for 2. So for the audio, the YouTube recommends you set the audio a little lower, the bitrate, but I guess that doesn't matter because I never had a problem with it. So audio, just be sure to use your desktop audio outputs and your mic input settings good so you can actually speak into it and you can hear your gameplay as well. So for the video, I got the a big monitor, like 2560 times 1440, but most people don't really have this monitor. And most people, just like 90% of the world, is going to watch videos on full HD, so on 1080p. So you want to outscale the resolution, the one below here, to full HD. And the filter, I got it on the highest one. I cannot change it right now because we are actually recording. But this is the third option, and you want to put it on that. And we're going to be using the 30 FPS. for the stream and recording, because then we can still stream in good quality and also record as well. So those are the settings. I have also a profile set up here for the PS4 streaming and PC streaming. So the scenes I'm going to use here, like down below by the mouse. So you have game capture to capture a game, or you have screen monitor capture. What we're using right now is the screen monitor capture. You can also use screen monitor capture for gaming to capture a game, but there is some side effects to it, some performance issues. But I tested it and it is really hard to see, to be honest, at least with my PC. So I guess I still do the game capture, but I don't really see a difference. Sometimes the screen monitor capture is, or it's actually display capture, but I, changed the name of it. So it's actually display capture, or you have display capture, monitor, or window capture, and game capture. And there is not really that good of a difference, to be honest, at least how I tested it. But I'm still going to use game captures for recording games because, they say on the internet that game capture is just really good. It has better performance, so I guess it is. But it is just, there's like small percentages that it is going to be slightly better, so we're going to use that anyway. And keep in mind that game capture is for full screen applications, so your games need to be actually in full screen or full screen borderless. Most games I play are like full screen borderless anyway. Maybe that will kind of have less performance if it is borderless. But anyway, when I played Gears 5, it only has like full screen borderless, so it doesn't really matter, I guess, for that game. Some games are just different, so you have to check that game capture, display capture, or window capture is better for those games. But it is all a voodoo, so I just use game capture and that's it. Because I don't want to test every game for recording all over again. That is just fucking annoying. So I also have the PlayStation streaming record. So I was muted a little bit because I had to activate my mic. So sorry if you didn't hear anything, but I wanted to say is I started up my PlayStation, as you can see here. So I'm using an Elgato game capture. It's not the 4K one, it's the HD60S one, I think. So it's gonna record full HD, 60 FPS, but on OBS you can use the game capture device to record on your PlayStation, but you still have to like adjust the settings yourself to stream 60 FPS or 30 FPS. So again, so this means that we can record on our consoles. So I can also use this on my Xbox I got, but I'm mostly not going to be on my Xbox because they decided to put the Game Pass also on PC. So yeah, well, you can play Xbox games on PC now, so that's really good. So let's turn this off. So hopefully that worked. So I also got the profile sections. I also have one profile for 60 FPS. That's basically the same settings. Let's see where the output. These are the same settings, but then I won't be streaming at the same time. It's like if I want to make like guides, I'm gonna not stream, obviously. I'm just gonna record. So I can record in better quality and 60 FPS. But if I'm streaming and recording at the same time, it has to be 30 FPS. Guys, I got like, let's just move this away because that's weird. So I got two tests. One test is for the PlayStation 4, where I streamed on 30 FPS and also recorded at the same time. So we're going to be playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. There won't be any spoilers, by the way, because I will be playing the, what's it called? The arena. So you will only see like enemies what are well known in the Final Fantasy world. So there are not really any spoilers at all of the story or whatsoever. So if you are scared you got spoiled if you watch this video, there are not going to be any spoilers whatsoever. And also for the second test, we're gonna play Gears 5. What is like the most demanding game I have for my PC. So we also tested that. And there are not going to be any spoilers of the game as well. There is the section I am going to be recording is actually also in the trailers and just some random shootouts. So you won't be having any spoilers whatsoever of that game. So you don't have to be worried of that. So this is just going to be a testing. So I hope you guys enjoy. So guys, on the left side, you can see the screen when I'm streaming, and the right side is going to be the screen of the recording. So as you can see, streaming will kind of look a little different, blurry, maybe less quality, because that's because the CPU needs to keep up with the buffering of the screen. And for recording, it basically looks like how it is in game, so it can keep up with the screen and buffering of it. So recording looks fine, so if you continue watching the video, you can see the difference between the two.
Let's switch it up.
I'll show you what I can do. That'll do. Get him. You can do it. All set. Yeah, let's go out. Come on. Put it at the eye. It's on you.
All right.
I'm coming. That's it.
So when you put the clips here together, you can actually see that the streaming quality is a little bit less than the recording, and that is normal. But overall, for let's say quality, they're both looking very good. And recording is basically how it looks like in game. So the recording is really good. And streaming, well, being able to stream like this is one of the best things you can have for streaming, because this is a AAA game and there's a lot of happening in screen. So, and if it can keep up with the screen like this, then you should be able to stream very well with good quality like this. But I also have a other video where I am going to record in 60 FPS for Final Fantasy, although it doesn't really matter because I think this game isn't really in 60 FPS on the PlayStation, so you won't be seeing it that much because it is a 60 FPS recording on a 30 FPS game. But overall, it's good to see how the recording looks like, and basically it looks like how it is in game, so that's quite good. This is the 60 FPS recording right here, and the 60 FPS is not really legit in this video because it is a 60 FPS recording on a 30 FPS game rendered at 30 FPS in my video software, so the FPS doesn't make any sense. But what I just want to show you guys here is the quality of the recording, and it is really solid. It is exactly how it looks like in game. So it is overall the best quality you can get with the recording. But guys, for the next recording, I'm gonna record and stream Gears 5, so let's get to it. Here we are in Gears 5, and left is streaming and right is recording. And as you can see already, left is kind of blurry because it's streaming obviously, and recording really looks good. It is exactly how it looks like in game. So let's view this little clip here, how the two will perform. So as you can see here, there aren't really much lag issues here from both streaming and recording. Recording is perfectly fine. Streaming though has maybe some slight lags in it, but that's all good. It doesn't really matter that much. If you are able to stream on your PC like this, that's good enough, at least for me. As long as it looks like this and doesn't lag, then it's all good and well. But now let's test our 60 FPS on the PC for recording. So this is our 60 FPS recording. So keep in mind that the 60 FPS here is not really legit because of the recording and editing of the clip. So keep that in mind. But overall, I wanted to let you guys see that the quality of it is very good and has like no lag in it. Maybe some slight lag issues sometimes, but they're like 1 millisecond or something, so it doesn't really matter that much. But guys, those were the testing for the streaming and recording for PlayStation as well as for PC, so I hope you enjoyed that as well. So guys, that wraps up this video of me building the PC and as well showing you the OBS settings for streaming and recording for a console and for the PC. And also show you some testing with the games on the PlayStation 4 with the Final Fantasy VII Remake. And it looked very good with solid quality. And the recordings basically looks how the game is, and the streaming quality is good. Kind of could always be better, but that's the best I can get with this PC. So it doesn't mind, it doesn't lag, and the quality in my taste is very good for streaming. And also showed you the testing with Gears 5 on the PC. Basically looked the same as how it is on the PlayStation. So the streaming obviously is going to look a little bit worse. Recording looks exactly the same how it is in game, so that is all good. So recording, when I'm basically recording for content, it's going to be looking like the original image of the game, so that's all good. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and showcase of it all. So if you are interested in more content, then you can of course subscribe to the channel. And I also got a Discord server set up, which you can join here. Gonna kind of show you the page. So this is our Discord server. You can join this. This is basically our base of operation, what I want to make of it. With sharing, of course, the stuff we're doing with games, sharing obviously conversations and all that stuff. And my announcements, I'm going to put them in here so you can maybe be getting to know much easier which next content I'm going to make. So you could join the Discord server if you want to, but that ends this video. So guys, I hope you enjoyed it, and I see you in the next one. Take care.